Welcome to Cougar on the Rocks. I am Robert, your host today, and today I have a special guest with me. I have Joel from Nick's Ride for Friends, and we'll be having a little conversation. Welcome to the show today, Joel.
Thank you for having me, Robert. I look forward to it.
All right, and as if you've been listening to the show, as you know, this is a point in the show where I would start talking about bourbon, and I would have Joel introduce what bourbon we are going to be drinking, but we decided that because of the message that Nick's Ride for Friends is about, that we were going to actually just cheers, do a toast without that bourbon. We're going to stand in solidarity for those who have ever struggled with any sort of addiction. So, Joel, welcome to the show, and cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Thanks for having me.
All right. So we're just going to get right into the questions today. For people who don't know what your organization is about, can you just give us a little bit of an overview of what it does and why you actually got it started?
Nick's Ride for Friends is a grassroots, non-for-profit organization that I started after my son Nicholas, 3 days after Christmas in 2015, died from a kill bag, which is called fentanyl, 100% fentanyl and synthetic acid. So it pretty much blew the heart out of his chest. And when that happened, that was right at the peak of the epidemic here in Cougar County. And, you know, and talking to my son all through his treatment and him trying to find recovery and get the strength to recover, because the disease of addiction is very powerful. And he would struggle from time to time, and but he had a lot of good clean time, but he ran right into one of those kill bags, and that was all it took. It was a short dance. He got hurt in wrestling. And then it led to pain pills, which led to his addiction. He was wired that way. And when he passed away, before he passed away, he always mentioned to me, Dad, there's no place to go. You tell me to go get, recovered, go to these facilities. And then when we get back, there's no place for us, the ones that are sick, to gather, to go someplace safe and relearn ourselves, try to find a job, try to finish school, whatever it takes. And that always rang with me. And then when my son passed away, instead of giving up the fight, I pushed on the gas a little harder, and we opened up Nick's Ride for Friends, had our first motorcycle ride, raised $9,200 thanks to this wonderful community, donated that to our sister organization, HEAL, Heroin Epidemic Action League, where they got up and running, where they spread awareness into the schools. And I started more on the recovery end because, yes, every day we're losing 207 people to this disease.
But now, when you say 207 people, is that in Cougar County? Is that nationwide?
That's in the United States.
In the United States. That's a staggering number, really, when you think about it. With that, we hear that. How many people do you see? How many people come to you every month looking for help, assistance?
Well, in the year 2018, we serviced 11,606 people came through the doors of 12 South, whether they were needing to be placed in a detox facility, an inpatient facility, intensive outpatient, or just regular outpatient. They needed help getting tutoring so they could get jobs or get their GED. We work alongside them to get their families back. We try to get them their lives back.
Wow, that's... I get chills hearing your story. I honestly do. To think that basically that equals 1,000 people every month coming
Correct.
Through your doors on average.
Yeah, that's a lot of coffee.
That is a whole lot of coffee. But the one thing that I love that you mentioned there is that you're taking that recovery to help not just get through the recovery, but to better their lives.
Absolutely. We take them from We have an app that goes off all the time, and we get parents calling us saying their son's overdosed or he's up at the hospital right now. Can you come see him? And my peer support team will go to the hospital from the time of detox, and we're with that friend. We call everybody a friend. You're not clients.
Nice.
You're another individual. You're one of our friends. And we stay with you through the detox process. We talk you through it. We tell, if it's the first time, we tell you what it's all about, what you're going to be going through. We have stuff for you to read, or we can read it to you. We can explain what's happening to your family. And then, now that we're able to detox in Auburn Community Hospital, which is huge, and that is just a big step forward in saving lives in our community. Now that we're able to do that, we're taking them right up there, getting them placed for detox in the ED department, to where they're now detoxing for 5 to 7 days, up to 5% or 10% of their bed capacity, which again is a huge number when
Wow.
you're taking 3 people there a day.
Right. And so this is something that has just recently started at the hospital then?
Correct. Not many people know about it. They're trying to get the bugs out of it, but they're doing a fabulous job. They've got a new gentleman in the ER. Him and Tammy are working real well together, Tammy Sutherland and Kevin Harris, I'm sorry. And they're working really hard. And they're working with us at Nick's Ride. They're working with Chad. Our effort is a community effort. And if you look at the statistics, in 2016, we lost 13 individuals from Cayuga County. 2017, we lost 24 individuals to Cayuga County, but there was 30 drug-related. So we'll never understand or be able to get the count of the ones that laid in the hospital for 3 days on a ventilator that their poor family had to decide to pull the plug. So we never get that count, but still the count we're getting is staggering and sickening. But it is a sickness, it's a disease.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, after the first time, they're not having fun anymore.
Right, right.
Yes, some of them may made that ill decision, but a lot of them didn't. You know, a lot of them, like my son, he didn't decide, hey, I'm going to go run 5 miles, I'm the captain of the wrestling team, and then I'm going to go get addicted.
Right.
You know,
right.
he got hurt, got prescribed pain pills,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. 4 years later, I'm in a rehab with him, and I asked Nick, when did this all start? When did you know? He says, I knew that night in the hospital.
Man, powerful, powerful story.
It is.
It really is. So now there is some good news for your organization. All the hard work that you guys have been putting in. I know that you guys are part of the award of the DRI.
Yes.
And I mean, that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you
It's
so much.
well deserved. What you're doing for this community, the support is phenomenal. So I was really pleased to hear that you guys were one of those recipients. What do you think this will do to help further your mission? And what do you have in place? What are some of the goals for this money?
Just some of the goals are just to provide still exactly what we're doing, but on a bigger scale. You know, we have so outgrown our footprint, and we're not even scratching the surface on the programs that we really want to start utilizing.
Mm-hmm.
And East Hill Medical is going to come in the building with us, you know, to help us with some sustainability, which is huge because we already work hand in hand in them.
Right. Yep.
So we've got a lot of the space rented out to help us be sustainable. So, but we're going to be able to offer, like, through some of the other nonprofits that are coming in with us, we'll be able to offer different after-school programs, so we can try to get rid of some of these latchkey kids,
Mm-hmm.
so we can get them engaged in different things before we have to get them into recovery.
Right.
you know, and we've just got so many different scopes laid out, but we are out of the footprint as we speak. We've torn walls down. I don't know how the place is standing. You know, we tore so many walls down to make room.
Well, obviously you have a good architect then. So, well, as I said, I think it's fantastic news. I was really pleased to hear that you were one of the recipients. And definitely, where's the new place going to be located?
It is going to be 13 Chapel Street.
13 Chapel Street. All right.
And it was donated by the Booley family.
Wow, very, very
It's
generous.
In honor of my son and their uncle, Alan Booley.
All right. All right. So looking for big things and can't wait to see how this shapes up for you. And hopefully we will be seeing a open house and maybe we can come back on and talk about some of the new features and procedures and offerings that you'll be able to help with the community. So bravo.
Thank you very much.
So you must have some good moments in an organization like this. What are some of the special moments that you really feel, like some of the success stories that you've been involved with that you've personally seen? Obviously, generalization, because we want to keep a confidentiality for it.
One comes to mind, a sweet little young child. And when she first came to us about a year ago, she came in on the program. And here's how it goes. We get 4 to 6 months to work alongside of these children. And I call them children. They're 25 years old. They're children, in my opinion.
Right. Well, I mean, they're around the age of where your son was. And, you see them as probably almost an adoptive child. You want to be able to help them,
But one, she sticks out because I watched her come in a year plus. I watched her go from shaking on the couch to coming up through her step work, doing very good in all of her programs. Now she's working. Now she has her car. Now she has her apartment. Now she has bills. So she's one of us again, and she's excited, and she comes to work every day. And I have another one that now helps me run 12 South.
Nice.
That I've watched come up for 6 years. I've got people that I've been around 7 because I just didn't start doing this after Nick. I always advocated in some kind of way.
Okay. Right.
So I just floored it after Nick died.
Right.
Because, I don't want to hear 207 phone rings.
Exactly. Definitely don't want to hear that. Bravo to all those that have really used your assistance to really make the changes they needed. So everyone out there, if you're listening and you're working with Joel, working with this organization, bravo for taking the steps that you need to better your life. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, as you mentioned, addiction definitely is a disease. If there's one thing that you could tell friends and families of people who are struggling with any sort of addiction, what is it that you would really want to be able to offer them as advice?
Well, any family member, if they have a family member that is sick, number one, you need to emphasize the love to them, because what you're seeing is not your family member. It is the disease, and sometimes the disease gets very ugly. But you have to emphasize and keep emphasizing how much you love them and how much you want to get them treatment. And it is available, but they have to want it. You can't want them sober any more than they want to be sober. And I also tell a lot of family members 3 things. You can't control it, you didn't cause it, and you can't cure it. It's up to the individual, and the family just has to have hope. And I always say hope is an acronym. Hang on, pain ends, and it will.
Man, those powerful